ranking every highway in Greater Jakarta based on how good they are. Is the pavement smooth? Does traffic flow well? Does using it not break the wallet? And here's something that not many people consider. Is there transit running through it? When you don't have a metro or commuter rail, the third best option is an express highway bus. When transit runs through a highway, it makes sure that this is something that everyone can use, not just the rich. Remember that highways are expensive. They take up a lot of land, and people's houses were demolished for it, so it better give back to society in some way. Anyway, the Jakarta-Tangerang Highway, aka Janger, starts in the Tomang interchange, where it splits from the inner ring road. It heads west, intersecting with the first and second outer ring roads, before terminating at Bitung. It has 6 lanes between Kembangan and Tomang, and the rest has 8. This highway is very cheap, with fares being a flat 8,500 rupiah. There's also a lot of transit running here. Regional buses by Transjakarta and Prima Jasa are especially common, with Damri and Arimbi buses also occasionally spotted. This is a universal highway. Everyone can use it, not just rich people in Toyota Fortuners. This is where the good ends, however, because congestion is awful. Average speeds regularly drop below 25 kilometers per hour. Usually the first place to come to a grinding halt is the section just before rest area kilometer 13. Even off-peak, you'll be lucky to reach 80 kilometers per hour, despite the 100 kilometer per hour speed limit. Congestion is bad because for many people, this is the only way to get to Jakarta, especially for residents of Gading, Serpong, Alam Sutera, and the extremely crowded Karawaci area. The train station is simply too far away. But also, being a highway connecting a seaport and multiple industrial zones, there is a lot of truck traffic. The 2 leftmost lanes have been absolutely obliterated by truck traffic, which means everyone hogs the 2 right lanes, though the section between Kembangan and Tomang is in a decent shape. To add to the list of issues, if it rains too hard, the section of highway around Karawaci has gone underwater before. It's not a common occurrence, but it has happened. Bitung Alam Sutera section gets C tier, Alam Sutera Kembangan section gets F tier, while the Kembangan Tomang section gets E tier. The Jagorawi highway goes north-south starting in Cawang and ending in Ciawi. Its name is a mashup of Jakarta, Bogor, and Ciawi. Most of it is 8 lanes, though the section south of Sentul gets progressively narrower. 6 lanes after Sentul and 4 after Bogor. It's also very cheap, with fares being 7,500 flat. On weekdays, the main congestion hotspot is the area near Halim Airport. On weekends, it's the south side near Bogor that tends to get traffic. One particularly bad place for congestion is the Cibubur exit. I have been stuck there for 15 plus minutes, though for the most part, traffic here does not spill into the rest of the highway. Though overall, the situation here is nowhere near as bad as in the Janger highway. The pavement is way smoother, and reaching 100 km per hour off-peak is actually possible. When it comes to transit, you have the LRT Jabodebek and the KRL Bogor line. The availability of 2 rapid transit lines that run near or even right next to this highway is probably one of the reasons why traffic doesn't pile up as much. When it comes to buses, Transjakarta runs multiple bus lines here, though only one, the P11, reaches anywhere close to running the whole length of the highway. There's also multiple privately run regional lines that go to various destinations, though Ciawi-bound buses seem to be the most common. So, with nothing seriously wrong with this highway, the section north of the second outer ring road gets B tier due to traffic, while the section south gets S tier. The Jakarta-Cikampek highway, also called Japek, runs east-west from Cawang to Cikampek, passing by Bekasi and Cikarang. So, for the purpose of this video, we're only rating the Cawang-Cikarang section. The fare is 9,500 rupiah flat, pavement quality as well. I'd say it's not as smooth as Jagorawi, though it's still in a much better shape than Tol Janger. Again, probably because there's a lot of truck traffic here, as Cikarang has a lot of factories. Congestion does happen here, though it is not too bad. I'll be honest, I've never used this highway at rush hour, but I only remember seeing this highway congested off-peak like twice. First in Cikarang, not sure why, maybe roadworks, and second in Bekasi, probably because it was raining. Alternatives are plenty. You got the KRL Cikarang line, LRT Bekasi line, the Wush, and the MBZ highway on top. There's a lot of buses running here, Transjakarta, Agramas, Desari, so that will be B tier. MBZ stands for Sheikh Mohamed bin Zayed. It's an elevated 4-lane highway located right on top of the Japek highway, specifically between Cikunir and Karawang, providing an express limited exit alternative. The road is wavy, the joints will rattle your car. This highway makes people motion sick, and it's not even that much faster than the truck-infested Japek highway below, F tier. The Beccakayu Highway, which stands for Bekasi-Cawang-Kampung Melayu, is built on the banks of the Kalimalang Irrigation Canal. It has 6 lanes and provides a direct link between Bekasi and the Insinyur Wiyoto-Wiono Highway. There's nothing wrong with the highway in particular, apart from the fact that it's a bit short and a bit expensive, 28,500 rupiah to go end to end. And Transjakarta is running empty buses every 20 minutes on it. Running your buses at 60 to 70 km per hour, though I've heard reports of 50 km per hour speeds, is not going to help with ridership. Especially considering that this highway is flanked to the south by the LRT Bekasi line and to the north by the Cikarang line. C tier because this is not good value for money. The Jakarta-Serpong highway starts in the first outer ring road near Pondok Indah and heads west terminating in BSD near Aeon. It then becomes the Serpong-Balaraja toll road, though currently it terminates in Legok. Traffic is light, partially because it's not very long, partially also because it's expensive, with an end-to-end route from Legok to Pondok Indah costing 39,500 rupiah. Partially also because the Rangkas Bitung line runs besides it, and it's cheaper, and it goes straight towards central Jakarta instead of merging with the first outer ring road. The downside of this highway is that it has gone underwater before if it rains too hard, and for some reason there seems to be a lot of roadworks on the western side of the highway, which is concerning. Because this is a pretty new highway, the eastern side is made of smooth asphalt, while the western side is made of somewhat abrasive concrete. Transit is also an issue. Transjakarta only runs Royal Trans services, which are more expensive and only run at peak. The only all-day service here is the Cikarang-Poris Pelawat line by Agramas. C tier. The Depok-Antasari highway, aka Desari, runs north from Sawangan to Antasari, where it also meets the first outer ring road. It is slightly expensive given the fact that it's not very long and the fact that it costs 30,500 rupiah to go end to end. Traffic is light, though the same can be said for both the northern and southern exits of this highway. When it comes to transit, you will mainly see JR Connection and Transjakarta Line D41 buses. B tier. The Insinyur Sedyatmo Highway, aka Airport Highway, runs west, starting at the northwestern corner of the inner ring road, passing by the first and second outer ring roads before terminating in Soekarno-Hatta Airport. Part of it is split into two, with the 2 middle lanes being express, while the 2 outer lanes connecting to the interchange with the first outer ring road. Speaking of which, this outer westbound part of the highway where it splits into 4, with one headed straight, one turning south to the first outer ring road, one turning north to Pantai Indah Kapuk, and one exiting the highway. This is confusing and terrifying for those who don't use this highway often. The fare is 8,500 rupiah flat, which is cheap, though considering that it's quite short, it isn't as great of a deal as say Tol Jagorawi. Congestion occasionally happens here, mostly in the eastern segment. When it comes to transit, you get the T31, some eastbound 1A buses, some JR Connection buses, and a lot of airport buses. B tier. The Kelapa Gading Pulo Gebang Highway is a short, expensive, 22,000 rupiah to be exact, severely underused, no transit runs through it, it creates a bottleneck in front of Mall of Indonesia. The only good thing about this highway is this cool toll gate that gives Wangan midnight bars. This goes a tier below F tier, called Demolished It. This highway is part of the diabolical but still planned Jakarta Inner Ring Road 2, aka GIR, which is also the appropriate response to such a plan. I can make an entire video on why this is genuinely a bad idea. Let me clarify that I'm not against building highways between and around cities. I am against building them through the city center though. Now onto the ring roads. The inner ring road consists of 3 main segments: the Halim Fluid segment, the Tol Pelabuhan, literally Port Highway, and the Insinyur Wiyoto-Wiono segment, aka Cililitan Tanjung Priok. All 3 have similar quality pavement, generally being smooth. All 3 are 6 lanes wide. The entire loop has a flat fare of 11,000 rupiah and suffers from catastrophic congestion, with average speeds dropping below 25 km per hour at rush hour. You will find all sorts of buses here: Transjakarta, Trans-Jabodetabek Regular, JR Connection, and airport buses. The 1W, T31, T11, 10D, and 7F all use parts of this loop, though I have a suggestion. We need an express version of Corridor 12 that goes through Tol Pelabuhan. This is the part of the loop with the least amount of buses. I have to admit that the views in this highway are amazing. You either get to see skyscrapers or the ocean. I'm giving the Sleepy Cawang segment, the entirety of the Cililitan Tanjung Priok segment, and the westbound Tol Pelabuhan E tier. The rest of the loop gets D tier. Yes, the E tier ones are the parts with the worst congestion. The first outer ring road starts in Pantai Indah Kapuk, Tol Insinyur Sedyatmo, Puri Indah, tol Janger, tol Serpong, tol Desari, tol Jagorawi, Jati Asih, tol Japek, tol Kelapa Gading Pulo Gebang, before terminating in the northeast corner of the inner ring road. The first outer ring road is 6 lanes wide and has a fare of 17,000 rupiah flat, which can either be a good deal or awfully expensive depending on how far you're going. The entire southern half of the loop starting in Kembangan and ending in Cikunir is prone to congestion, with the worst segment being the Veteran Pasar Rebo section. Less frequently, traffic does pile up along the peak Kembangan section. All the transit seems to pile up in the Veteran Cikunir section, where you will find multiple regional bus lines, both Transjakarta and by other bus companies. The rest of the loop seems notably transit deprived, which is a problem, especially in the Veteran Peak segment. These are areas with lots of activity and they should be connected with highway buses. So verdict, the peak Veteran section gets C tier, the Veteran Kampung Rambutan section gets E tier, Kampung Rambutan Cikunir gets D tier, and the Cikunir Tanjung Priok segment gets B tier. This is mainly based on how bad the traffic is in each segment because they're pretty similar in other aspects. The second outer ring road is a 6-lane highway that starts in tol Sedyatmo, passing by Kunciran, Serpong, Pamulang, Depok, Cimanggis, Cibitung, and terminating in Cilincing. The pavement isn't very good, not because it has been Swiss cheese by poor maintenance, but because large segments of the highway are made of what seems to be extremely abrasive concrete blocks that create a lot of noise and vibrations. The worst segment seems to be the Kunciran-Cengkareng segment. I got slightly motion sick driving there. I'm not the kind of person who gets motion sick easily. If I do get motion sick, that usually means my passengers are about to meet their breakfast and ruin my car's interior. On the topic of the Cengkareng-Kunciran segment, after giving you motion sickness, it proceeds to violently throw you into tol Sedyatmo. Look at how little space you have to merge in a relatively crowded and fast-moving highway. This is scary. When it comes to price, it costs 77,000 rupiah from Gading Serpong to Kota Wisata Cibubur. This is the most common trip I take in this highway. 77,000 minus 8,500, the price of tol Janger, that's 68,500 rupiah, which is expensive. I should mention that unlike most other highways in this tier list, the fare isn't flat. The farther you go, the more expensive it is. For that price, you do get a mostly traffic-free experience, except in rush hour where a long queue can build up on the Limo toll gate, and the Depok part of the highway generally runs slower as induced demand buys this highway in the rear end. Transit is also extremely limited. You will mainly see intercity and airport buses, not the kind of buses that can be used by the average everyday commuter. Only the D11 and Trans-Depok Line 1 uses this highway and only for a tiny segment. Verdict, Cengkareng-Kuningan segment gets F tier for giving me motion sickness and for trying to kill me. Kunciran-Cinere gets C tier, light traffic but is held back by a combination of below average pavement smoothness and no transit. Cinere Raya Bogor segment gets D tier due to heavier traffic. Raya Bogor Jagorawi gets C tier, slightly heavier traffic but you do get 2 city bus lines and the rest gets C tier. The Bogor Ring Road, part of the planned third outer ring road, is a short 4-lane highway that goes east-west on the north side of Bogor City. I haven't actually used this highway, but based on Google Maps observations, the traffic seems light, pavement is made of smooth asphalt, but it is expensive for its length at 16,000 rupiah. But there are a lot of regional bus lines that use this highway to get to Bubulak Terminal, so B tier.